Welcome to Football with Cheese. Okay, so in this video, we're going to quickly talk about the Packers moving on from kicker Brandon McManus, why they did it, why this makes sense, how it affects the salary cap, all of that. But first, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss one of my videos. I am a Green Bay Packer fan, so I will make a lot of Packer content, but I do cover all 32 teams on this channel. And make sure you stay to the end. I'm going to go over what I'm going to do on this channel for the next 2 months while we're waiting for football to start. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so Brandon McManus, longtime Denver kicker. He plays 1 year in Jacksonville in 2023 and then signs with Washington. And then he got hit with a civil suit for doing inappropriate things to flight attendants when the Jacksonville Jaguars flew to Europe. You know, because Jacksonville seems to play at least one game across the pond every year. So anyway, Washington moves on for him, and he's a free agent. No one signs him. And then the Green Bay Packers have not replaced Mason Crosby. Still haven't. We'll see. They just drafted a rookie kicker. More on that in a second. So they don't replace Mason Crosby. They draft Anders Carlson. He was a disaster. They get into the playoffs in 2023. He was one of the worst kickers in the regular season. And they're up 4 in the fourth quarter. And what does he do? He misses a routine field goal. It was 41, 43 yards, something like that. You cannot miss field goals in the postseason. It doesn't matter if it's 26 yards or 56 yards. You cannot miss field goals in the postseason. Instead of a 7-point lead, it was a 4-point lead, and what do the 49ers do? They go down and get a touchdown to win the game. And if Green Bay wins that game, they're in the NFC title game against Detroit, who they had beaten in Detroit earlier that year. So may have cost them the Super Bowl. We'll never know. Jordan Love was playing out of his mind. Then the next year, Carlson is bad and doesn't make the team, and they go for someone named Braden Narvison. It was a rookie that went to camp with the Titans, but in every single game he kicked, he missed at least an extra point or field goal. Eventually, they had to move on. So they were desperate. The civil suit was settled, so they signed McManus. And then in his 11 games in the regular season, he only missed 1 kick. He was amazing. 95 percentile field goal percentage. However, he had never been above 85.7 in his entire career with Denver or Jacksonville. So kind of an anomaly. Then he goes to the postseason against Philadelphia and he misses a 38-yard field goal. Once again, you cannot miss field goals in the postseason, and he did. But because he was so good in the regular season, he got a 3-year contract extension and comes in this year and makes 80% of his kicks, which is terrible. I don't care if you're indoors or outdoors. 85% is typically the minimum, but only if most of your kicks that you missed are like over 55 yards. But if you are missing 38 yarders, 43 yarders, that's not okay. Then they get in the postseason against the Bears, and it was an absolute disaster. Right before halftime, it's 21-3. Green Bay led. He misses, I believe it was a 55 or 56-yard kick. That is a tough kick in cold weather. I don't care. You cannot miss that kick in the postseason. And what it did was give the Bears momentum. Yes, you're down 21-3, but I believe in momentum. Right before halftime, if you score either touchdown or field goal, it gives you momentum. If you miss a kick, it gives the other team momentum. It would have been 24-3. Instead, they end up losing. I mostly blame Matt LaFleur for losing that game. Absolutely, Matt LaFleur is to blame. But McManus didn't just miss that kick. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point. He left 7 points on the table. So basically, he left 10 points on the field in 2 games, and they lost both games. You can't do that. So what do the Green Bay Packers do? They move up in the draft, gave up 2 7th-round picks to move into the 6th round to take Trey Smack, kicker from Florida. Most draft analysts had him as the best kicker. I don't even study specialists for my channel. It's a waste of time. I'm not going to look at long snappers or punters or kickers because they're not football players. They're specialists. So I didn't even look at it. But what Trey Smack can do is he can make kicks from over 50 yards. He was 10 of 13 last year at Florida. So makes sense that they did that. I still don't like trading up for a kicker. I still don't like drafting kickers in general because most of the best kickers in the league were undrafted. But I completely understand why he did it. A kicker that's accurate from over 50 yards, from over 55 yards, that can kick at 60, it's so valuable with these K-balls. If you didn't know what a K-ball is, they have these new balls that allow kickers to kick it about 5 or 7 yards longer. So having a good kicker is more important than ever. I hate that it's more important than ever. Special teams in general is more important. With the kickoff rules, having a good return man. So it's become extremely important to have a good kicker. And obviously, Brandon McManus is not clutch, and he's not good in the postseason. So I'm a little surprised they didn't release McManus right away. They waited a couple weeks, but he absolutely had to go. And as far as salary cap goes, It'll save him $945,000 this year and $6.2 million next year. Now, some people are going to criticize the Packers for paying him a $1 million roster bonus in March, but they didn't know they'd get Trey Smack. Clearly, they thought he was by far the best kicker in this draft because they traded up to get him. They gave up 2 picks to move up to get him. So they thought this kicker was worth 2 7th-round picks. So they don't know that someone else is not going to use a 4th or 5th-round pick on a kicker. Sometimes teams do that. I know, it's ridiculously stupid, but sometimes teams will do that. So it was an unknown going in the draft whether they get Trey Smack. Just by the track record of Goody and kickers, I'm a little nervous. But once again, most draft analysts had him as the best kicker in the draft. So let me know in the comments, should they have kept McManus into training camp and had a competition? Or do you think it was time to move on like I did? If you enjoyed this, give me that thumbs up. Helps out the channel. Share this with anyone who loves football. Once again, I cover all 32 teams on this channel. Time for the announcement. So what I'm going to do the next 8 weeks, I'm going to go division by division. Last year, I did the complete offseason recap, but we've talked about free agent moves, we talked about coaching moves, and we've talked about the draft. I've done draft recaps. You can search my channel for every single division. So instead, I'm going to do the 5 most important moves of the offseason for each team. I'm going to start in the West. Originally, I was going to start with the East, but then I realized that A.J. Brown hasn't been traded yet, and so we can't do the Eagles yet because I know he's expected to be traded, but I don't think it's a guarantee. You never know. And he's expected to be traded to the Patriots, but they could back out, and they're an East team as well. And we can't start with the North because Aaron Rodgers could change his mind or wait another month. A lot of people think he's going to sign this weekend, but who knows? We don't know with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to start with the West. We'll probably do the NFC first, and I'm going to go each team, the 5 most important things they did in the offseason, and it could be a draft pick. It could be a free agent signing. It could be hiring an offensive coordinator. It could be losing a coordinator to a head coaching job. It could be anything. So it's the 5 most important things that happen to each team in the division. And then in the comments, I want you guys to let me know what you think is the most important. So that's what we're going to do here at Football with Cheese. We'll do a division each week. Once again, next week we'll start with NFC West, then we'll do AFC West until we've done all the divisions. Me and Mike, we do the Lights Out podcast. We do it every Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link in the description. Check out these videos if you have not, and I'll see you in the next one.